Welcome to the behind the scenes. This week we did the climactic end chase at the end of the original Fast and Furious movie. We're going to walk you through the process and show you how we did everything step by step. So, all aboard, as they say. Ding, 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 ding. So we started with all the live action stuff, which was Chris as Vin Diesel and myself as Paul Walker. So when you're going to do Vin Diesel, obviously you want to get the nose just right.
We're going to get a crew together.
So Chris has just the right look, but he needed a more bulbous nose. So we went to a makeup type store and found this great nose. I think it was like a Bill Clinton nose actually. So we glued that sucker on there and instant Vin Diesel.
Hungry, I'm going for it.
This is the very complicated transition from me as a director into Paul Walker, the character. So take off the hat and you put on the wig. Sexy Paul Walker.
My car takes unleaded, but I put in Vin Diesel.
We shot it in the actual cars, just sitting in the street and in the driveway, not actually moving. Luckily, the interior of my car looked pretty close to the interior of Vin Diesel's car. We had the nice kind of fastback look, doubled pretty well for his car.
Yeah, go ahead and clean it. Go ahead and clean it. And make sure my car's topped off. Last time you guys didn't top it off. I get my own RV done. It's a Fast and Furious RV. And my dome gets cleaned as well.
And then for the Paul Walker stuff, we didn't have an orange, sporty souped-up car, but we used John's old Civic, his old clunker, and worked pretty good. To simulate the airflow happening, because he's in a convertible and we're not, I've got this giant passenger. It's a big fan. Get some nice bangs flowing in the wind action. Now we're talking. It turns out that that giant fan that I had didn't even push enough wind in my hair. It's like not doing anything. Maybe the blow dryer then? Once we finished all the live action stuff, it was time to go into miniatures. So we built a whole bunch of miniature stuff. So we started with the interchangeable sections of street blocks. We have 4 pieces. We got warehouses. Try to keep it more industrial. He's running like some kind of like a soup factory because John likes soup. So this is John's cannery, little smokestack. We've got Dustin's auto. So that's my other job is an auto body shop. It's like the better part of town, I think. This is the industrial part. It's really just a piece of cardboard that's just folded. So it's just kind of a facade. And then I just drew on all the little details. We made it like with sides so we could see it or we could bend it in. When you're down there with the camera, it looks pretty good. It looks really big. You can't really tell that it's just all the fronts. There's these green pillars that show up a lot. They race past these things like 20 different times. There's actually a really great old-timey train store in Pasadena. They had a lot of really cool elements. We bought a package of these things, which are amazing because in the distance, they just look really industrial, really great for the background. The train store also had a bunch of these great little railroad pieces. We're using lasers for this shot to make the lights blink. Bing, 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 bing. This fencing was just made out of some metal screen. We just cut it into strips and we could just bend it to length and tape it into place. Adds a lot of depth. Put stuff behind it, in front of it. The street was just, this is just a piece of cardboard with little pieces of tape, spray painted matte black. And it looks pretty good on camera. Looks actually like asphalt. We needed some plants and stuff in some of them, so we just pulled some weeds that I found nearby. Not in our yard, of course. When you're doing miniatures, you usually end up needing a lot of sky. So in this one, we put up a bunch of sky, and it's just blue sheets. Then we don't have to worry about it. We just stick it up, and we've got sky all around. And we set this whole thing up on my back patio. So just stuck this sky to the back of the house and put up some stands and got to spend some time out in the backyard for a change. So it's all like reconfigurable. Pretty much every single shot we would just line everything up individually just to match all the elements in the shot. You can lay out a city block, connect them with fencing. We would just place them in the foreground, in the background. Our rule of thumb after a while was, when in doubt, add power lines. You spend a while like just getting everything in place and you've got like, okay, we need more power lines over here. We need a building over here. We need a tree over here. And then it's like, okay, action and pull and then done. But you just had to take the time to set it all up right. So a shot like this, we're setting up lots of layers. Nice wide shot, we get the sky, we're gonna see the cars zooming by. So we've got back layer, front layer, street, foreground. We've even got this guy way up in the foreground, so it's just real close to the camera. All these layers so that the cars can just zip right by. We found some toys that matched up pretty close. This black car, I just painted out some of the black, added in the color of the rims. So this is the car that Paul Walker drives, that I'm gonna be driving in this video, but it's not a little convertible like it needs to be, so I'm gonna make it a convertible using the Dremel. Slice right in, do open heart surgery. Added in a lot of the little paint details. We found these little tiny guys at the model train store. But this tiny man inside, I painted him black, and I'm gonna chop his legs off and then glue him inside. He's gonna be Paul Walker in the miniatures. We attached the cars lots of different ways. Sometimes it was just pulling them with string, so we just used, like, you know, black string.
We tied them to my fingers here on strings, and then I can just move my fingers and completely time when Paul Walker's car overtakes his by the end of the shot.
But sometimes we'd have to use like a thicker wire where we could attach it really good on there, usually the black one, since it flips around a lot. Different little sticks that blend in with the street. We even use this for one shot where the two of them are landing. We just kind of attach them to the back of this, and then from the side it's like paper thin. Depending on what the shot was, you had to get the movement of the cars exactly right. So we wanted to match the look of the train really closely, so we just painted this black. Well, I think I used a black marker, and then put in some little details, got the orange paint. Even though it's these big funky magnetic type trains, I think it kind of works. And there's a few different times where the point of view is just on the tracks, and I just use the little iPhone camera. Alright, this is the big landing shot, slow motion. The cars go landing, the train goes by, there's stuff flying through the air. So we've got our street lined up, got the camera over here, we're gonna shoot in high speed. So first step is the cars, which we've got rigged up pretty nice on the wire, nice and solid. John's gonna be maneuvering these guys down, landing. He's got a little bit of the broken arm gate thing there. The rest of them are just dangling, so they'll be kind of flying by in slow motion. Then we've got the train, which passes by in the background. So we had to build a whole bunch of extra track. It goes by straight, but we need it to stay on the track, so we've got the track coming all the way over here, all the way over there, just so that it can pass by. And so I'll just continuously feed the train past, just so it catches this section of it on the camera right here. Vin Diesel's car has this great engine sticking out, and I made it out of cardboard for this one shot. We just wanted to be able to like go boom, boom. Have to do the sound effects, otherwise it doesn't work. At the start of the race, we've got the little miniature light fixture here, but for the actual close-up of the light turning on, I made a larger version. I just added cardboard, and then it pans from the red one, and then it goes down to this one, which is off, and then it goes pink and changes green, because on green we go. We've got a couple of really cool like POV shots from inside the vehicles, which starts with the inside of the train, and we shoot through it, through the front window of the train. So now this is a larger scale than the tiny, tiny Paul Walker. We've got a kind of bigger one, but we still get to see down the street, so it's really kind of a cool mix of different scales and still seeing all the different elements come together. With the live action stuff in the cars and like the wind blowing and everything, and then cutting to these tiny, tiny miniatures, and then some stuff sort of in between. It edits together and becomes this one magical, cool thing. So I did all the sound effects again. This was a lot of cars and engines revving. And like tire screeching, trains. This is how you do a train whistle. You do one note, and then you do a second note. Well, that looked like a lot of fun and a lot of work. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments and I'll try and answer back. Be sure and subscribe. We got new episodes every single Tuesday. I'm gonna get back to playing with these guys. Thanks for watching. I'm so hungry for cars.